I've done a lot. Well, it feels so long. It's only actually been about 3 weeks, but you certainly get out of the. I had to double check, triple check that I had everything sorted and working. So hopefully it all goes well. I'm sure it will. But welcome to my life. Today I'd really want to share some information about the hybrid embossing folder with the Rings of Nature stamp set and coordinating die, etc. Just love what you can create with this. There's so much in it. What I'm going to share today is just a very small part, but yeah, so let's flick over to the desk and we will get started. Okay, so let me just check all is working and we will right. Yes, fantastic to know that it is working. Okay. Right. Okay. So this is the Ringed with Nature stamp set, and it has, as I say, so much available in this set, not just the stamps, which include like a gorgeous house and flowers and toadstools, an acorn, a heart, just so much in here. It's absolutely, you can see I asterisked it there. When you flick through your catalogue and you decide what you want to put on your list. It certainly was one of mine. And it comes with the hybrid folder, which I'm going to show you a couple of things with that today. So this is the stamp set. And pretty much it's a photopolymer stamp set. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to show you how to use the folder, which I say I'm going to use the folder and it's not, oh yes, here it is. And I'm going to have to put my big shot, oh dear, I'm going to put my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine on the table. Now I have got just a bit of white paper here because I've found that it's probably easier to show you when we are working. Actually, first of all, we'll just emboss. So I'm just going to straight emboss to show you what the embossing folder does on its own. So it's just the usual, you pop your paper, your cardstock in the folder. This is the, oh, don't know what that is, bit of glue. This is always the right way up, and always pop your folded edge through first and make a sandwich. So I'm just going to stand up. I'm not used to doing it sideways. There we go. So yes, welcome back. I have been absent for a little while. Well, it seems like ages. It's only 3 weeks, as I say. Not that long, really. So this is on very vanilla, and that's just embossing straight. So gorgeous texture on that with the rings of the wood, etc. Amazing texture. So it is like a 3D embossing folder. And then we're going to use a bit of soft suede, and so let's pop this in here. Oops. See, I really don't know what I'm doing anymore. Okay, so let's put this underneath so hopefully you can see what I'm doing. Just make sure that's on camera. So if you're there, do say hi. Love to know that you're there. I'm going to focus on this ring here, this size. So I'm going to pop that over there, but I'm going to set it up on here. So this comes and it fits the whole of these gorgeous circles on here. Let me make sure that I get this round the right way. And what am I doing? I put it up the wrong way. That's what I'm doing. Okay, so I like to do it this way. Everyone has their own little way, but I find if I pop it on that top part, hi, Bobby, thank you for dropping in. Nice to see you here. I like to put it this way because it stays, like it sort of sits on there without moving. Now I'm going to pop that one there, and then I'm going to close it. Now turning it over though, because you still want this edge to go through. Hi Cheryl, welcome. Lovely to have you here. Hope it's nice and sunny in Tauranga. There we go. Now I'm going to pop this through. And the magic happens when you take it off and you have this already cut out and embossed all at once. Fantastic. Just love how that works. And the detail is incredible. So the next thing we're going to do, so I want to use that. I'm going to, we didn't need one this size, but that's all right. Let's just get rid of those. I'm still only wanting to do that one, so let me just show you. I'll get my paper back so that you can see. Okay, so I'm going to use just this one. I'm going to pop this in. Make sure I get it around the right way. Like so. And once again, you'll feel it slip in. Yes, it does. It's fantastic, isn't it? It's really good die cutting machine. Just love how it works. Okay, so there's this little die as well. This little, well, you'll see more. It's just to add a bit of interest to the middle. So we're going to pop that in there. So as you can see, this embossing folder can be used on its own or with these dies. And you just use it as you would an ordinary embossing folder. So you're using it with the same base, just the base here, and with the grey mat, because it's a 3D embossing folder. So let's pop this through. Yes, these are hybrid. You have to get the special embossing and die combination. They're called hybrids in the catalogue. There is one in the annual as well. Okay, so what's happened here is we have just cut out the middle this time. And we have got this little bit here which adds that extra bit of interest. So that is how to use this folder with the coordinating dies. So let's make up the card with these elements. Let me just pop this to the side. Of course, there's a lot more dies in there than just this as well. There's leaves, berries, all sorts. I've actually cut out a couple of things with these branches, and I'm just going to colour them. So let me just get this big thing out of the way. Okay. Well, I love the stamps, Bobby. It's just awesome, actually. I just love the versatility of it. So I started actually, it was one of the sets I got for Artisan to use, and I hadn't sort of looked at it. I was saving it because it's for December. I thought I'll wait and play with it once I need to for Artisan. And wow, yeah, just love it. Just couldn't stop playing with it actually once I started. Okay, so that's going to go in there. So I'm going to add a little bit of glue. Obviously I can't show you those Artisan projects today, but I have got a few other projects that I'll show you at the end that I made. And I find if you like vintage, actually, this really lends itself to vintage style. Now I'm going to do a bit of a bit of blending, just add a little bit of texture onto that. So this is crumb cake. Very excited because in the new mini catalogue, letting out a secret for those who aren't demonstrators, but just a sneak to tell you that there's going to be some mini brushes. So I'm excited to see them. Okay, I love my mini brushes. So I'm going to add some, first of all, I will just add a bit of this rough to this very vanilla piece. As I say, I want to make it quite vintagey. So I've sort of got all the variables from the embossing folder here on this card for you. Just a little bit of a rough, not too much. And once again, I'm just going to use a little bit of crumb cake. So if you like the cleaner look, then obviously you don't rough up the edges or add the blending. But I think wood and that sort of thing really does lend itself to this sort of look. Okay, and using Very Vanilla, actually, I do like how that combines. Okay, so I'm going to use a cherry cobbler mat, and I will just, oops, there we go, make sure that I'm not so the cards that I have got to share all have a similar theme with this vintage look, actually. Okay. There we go. And then this one. It does make a little bit of mess, but that's all right. Go. Okay, so I have the inside. Now I don't rough up the inside. I'm just going to show you what I did. I'm actually going to do the toadstools, and I'm going to show you what I did on the inside that I did for the outside, but I've actually cut them out. So let's pop that over there. So I'm going to use some crumb cake. So this is the stalks, and I'm using my foam mat, of course, because this is a photopolymer stamp. And then I'm going to stamp the toadstools in real red. Got a good stamp. Then I'll stand up, make sure I get this straight. And then I wanted to add a little bit more pizzazz on that. So I've just got my Stampin' Blend, and it is in light sweet sorbet. And I've just gone over it a little bit on this side just to add a little bit more brightness, I suppose you could say, a bit more intensity. But aren't those toadstools just gorgeous? And then I have just used my light soft suede, and I am just a little bit going to come down the edge there. I know, I just like to add a little bit of something, and just add a bit under there, just to add a bit of shading, and then that will go on the inside of the card. Right, tend to keep that plain. You could add some blending on there as well, but I tend to just do that on the front, but you know, more than welcome to. Okay, so I'm going to pop that there, and I'm going to use my, I better just close a couple of these, I think, before I land something in it. Okay, right, so dimensionals. It's so nice here today. Well, so warm. It's a little bit overcast, but I've got the garage door open. I feel like I'm crafting outside. It's so nice. Okay, so just put that on a little bit of an angle. I might just put it up just a little bit higher. There we go. So I have, as I say, already pre-done some of these toadstools. And I cut these ones out because I wanted to, well, there's no die for the toadstools in actual fact. So if you wanted them, you do have to fussy cut, which I don't mind a bit of fussy cutting. Okay, I'm just going to put a bit of glue on there. There we go. See that little mark there? Turns out a little die that cut that out just really pops that middle, doesn't it? Okay, let's pop a die, dimensional on there. There we go. Okay, so the next thing I did was I cut out some of these. Let me move this over so I can colour on here. These were just the dies. There's about 3 different size branches, which you can cut them all out together, and this little one here. So I've just used, this is light crumb cake, and I'm just going to colour it. Now it comes, when you die cut, it comes out gorgeously textured from the die. So really does help when you are colouring even. So just that, and I'm going to add a little bit of the soft suede again, just following some of those lines that are there. Nothing really too, I was going to say perfect, but that's not the right word. Not too exact, I suppose. Okay, now I've got light soft succulent. So I'm using the pointy or the fine tip end for these. So I'm just going to colour the leaf in. And so what I found, I wanted it to be reasonably soft. I didn't want it to be too harsh. I did try it with the dark evening evergreen or something to add, but what I found is if you go back in with the same colour that you've got and just add another layer, it does add, if you can see that, does add a bit of texture and darkness on that. So there we go. And this one. And then lastly, I have got the dark sweet sorbet to colour these berries nice and bright. Oops, I forgot the brown in there. They can do that. There we go. And I missed a bit of red there, look. Okay. Right. So let's pop those on. So I've got those there. And I'm going to always like to arrange my things on my card like this before I adhere anything down, so that I know I have it right. Okay. And one more. Oh, I think, are you going to miss? Yes, I know. I love that, those combination of those two greens, the soft succulent and the evening evergreen. I think they're just fabulous. I use them so much. Okay, so let's just spread that out a little bit more. Let's put that there because I've already done, so I've stamped the sentiment on with cherry cobbler and blended it, and I've used this ribbon, which I thought, oh yes I have. This is just fabulous. You can fray it, you can use it all sorts of ways. It's called Natural Finish ribbon, and it's just so lovely and textured, perfect for these for this wood sort of cards projects. So I'm going to pop that in there. So I need to make sure that I'm putting my, so I'm just going to put a bit of either there or there. If I do that one there, then okay. Might do it there, I think. So if that's the case, I'm just going to put some dimensionals there. See, I have these ideas and I wait to create them with you. But you never see the finished product until I'm doing it. So I can't do it as some people do though, from blind. I do have to come into my live with a little bit of an idea what I want to do. Yeah, they are adorable. You need the whole set. Oh, that's all right. Pleasure to assist you. It is. As I say, I've got some other cards as well. It really is. Do I want that there? Honestly, I'm just going to pop that down there, I think. Yeah. And then I can work around that. I love the toadstools on this. Okay. Great. Okay, let's do the top one. I'm just going to use glue. So I only put dimensionals in the middle because I knew I wanted to tuck these underneath. So let's put that one there. And then that one can go there. This is the fiddly part. Always find when I'm in the middle of creating something, I get glue on my fingers. Oh yes, the ones that start from scratch. I know. I just really do admire them. They sort of do it, create. I can take absolute forever deciding on how to do something. It would be a very long video, probably. Very long video. Okay. So let's put that one there. And then maybe this one here. No. No, maybe just the one, I think. I don't need to put them all in. That's the best thing about actually making extras. You can then, if you've got extra, it's better than needing another one, isn't it? And I have a little stash, a little bowl that I keep all my bits and pieces in that I haven't used, and then I do use them, so it's not a waste. Just a bit of the ribbon there. Here is my scissors. Here we go. So I really don't think that this one is going to be needed unless I put it up the top there, but that's going to be too much. No. And it reminds me of one of those trunks that you cut off and then it starts sprouting back again, I must admit. Okay, so I've got these beautiful festive pearls that I will use. They're just beautiful. And one there. And that is a card using all those elements. Let me just get these out of the way. So that's with the embossing folder and using those two embossing and die cuts. For this card, I've used just the embossing folder and I've stamped the flower. What I did was I actually inked it up in Sweet Sorbet and then went over with a darker red, I think it was cherry cobbler, just around the edges on the stamp before I stamped it, just to give it the different depths of colour. And this one I made a reel. It's a vintage, so they're all vintage, using the flowers that are in the stamp set, and there's a heart as well. So just gorgeous to create something a little bit different. And then there was this one, so I've once again vintage, and I've used the cherry cobbler this time for the embossing, and blended it with some soft some crumb cake. Yeah, so those are the 4 cards. So let me make sure that you can see those. I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you so much for your patience, and in fact I had a few weeks off, and I look forward to coming back to you again each Tuesday. So if you enjoy, if you like to leave me a comment, or if you share the video, really appreciate it. So take care and enjoy the rest of your day or evening or whatever you're doing, and hopefully see you again next week. Thanks so much.